What it do, YouTube, man? It's your boy Q back with another jiggy video. And in this video, I'll be showing you guys how to replace a alternator on from I say a 2006 all the way up to a 2010. They should be the same because it's the same body style. Dodge Charger RT. It should work for the Challengers as well. So now I had to redo my intro because when I recorded the whole video, I came across the problem that my damn alternator was even, had caught on fire. And I didn't even know that. So I'll be showing you guys what you need and everything like that and the whole process. So first off, what you'll need is you need like a little wire cutter and wire stripper that you use for regular speakers. I would like to say shout out to my young bull, Tyrone, and shout out to Man for hitting me up. Because people was like, man, the only thing I do is just splice the wire and everything and reconnect it. And I was like, what are you guys talking about? See, me, I'm a speed guy. I don't know anything about wires and stuff like that. So if you're into speakers, like sounds in your car, and you know how to work on that, then this would be like great for you. You'll probably get what I'm saying. So you need this, and you need the connector. Now, it's going to be a 4-gauge connector. The 4-gauge is the size of the wire. That's how wires are measured, I guess. And the one for the Dodge Charger alternator is 4-gauge. And this is exactly what it looks like. So that's what the 4-gauge connector looks like. I had one, but I lost it because when I bought the little pack, it came with like 2. But whatever, my bad. So once after you go to the store and get the connector, don't forget 4-gauge because that's how thick the wire is of the alternator. This is what my wire that connects to the alternator looks like. Right behind the metal piece, you see like little gray where the fire stopped. It stopped right behind the metal piece of the connector, and you will see like the front piece of the circle part that goes on the back of the thread of the alternator. And when you put the nut onto it, it just burned off and broke off, and like it kind of like it looked like it molded into the thread of the connect, like the nut and the connector like molded, like melted together from the heat onto the thread, man. It was crazy. Also, if that happens to you, you're gonna need a new nut. The nut is a 13, I believe. It's from a 10 to a 13. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's a very simple process. So first of all, if you don't need to, if your alternator has not caught on fire, you can just go ahead. I will edit the video when I'm done, and you can just go ahead and skip to where I'm just like showing you everything, how to get the alternator out. First, you're going to have to get your wire cutter. And where I showed you where, basically you're going to have to trace where the fire stopped. You see, I showed you guys that the fire stopped right behind the metal piece for me. So right here, let me let that focus. Come on, GoPro. Where you see wire cutter at, you cut the wire. So boom, cut the wire, and then that's going to look like this. And then after you cut the wire, it's gonna look how I just showed you guys because I took pictures. The only thing you do, literally, the only thing you do is you twist the wire up like you twisting a piece of paper or something. You have like a napkin or something, or don't. You just literally twist the you twist the wire, and then the wire is gonna be pointy. And then what you do is you stick that wire in the 4-gauge connector. You stick it right in the connector, and then you use the wire stripper to clamp down of the edges, the back of the connector. That circle part that you see on the connector, that's what goes on the thread of the alternator, and then you put the nut behind it. So after, but before you do that, after you clamp down the wire inside of the connector, you want to wrap electrical tape around any wire that is showing, so it doesn't, you know, send out sparks, anything. You might touch something, you just never know. So you want to just put electrical tape around it. The wire should already have electrical tape around it. Sorry for the jets and stuff. I live close to a military base, but the wire should already have electrical tape around it and stuff like that. So just make sure that no wire is actually showing, no bare wires, because you don't want no sparks, nothing, like I just said. Then on top of that, the only thing you do is you put the connector, the circle piece with a circle opening on the thread. You twist the nut up there, and that's literally it. That's it. And then you go back to reassembling the alternator back in the thing. You got to plug the alternator back up, because there's also another connector. It comes out, that little tab, it comes out and goes back in. So that's pretty simple. Also, you're going to see that I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm like, man, look, I'm sorry guys, I'm frustrated. This is gonna be the end of the video. I showed you guys pretty much everything else, because I was just getting frustrated, man. After that, I just got mad. I was just like, dang, like, I'm gonna have to go to Dodge and buy a new whole wire and stuff, and this and that. But the GoPro died, and then I think my phone started to die too. Yeah, my phone died, so I couldn't record the rest of the process. That's why I'm recording everything right now, to show you guys, pictures, and to like just explain it to you the best way I can, because I took pictures I wasn't planning on taking pictures just to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put this in the video. I took pictures just to like send it to people and stuff like that, like boom. But granted, you know, I took pictures really good. All right, so we're outside. A few things you're gonna need: your new alternator, little toolkit, and a drain bucket to catch stuff, because a little bit of coolant, because you're gonna have to remove your air intake or your stock air intake. That doesn't have to come off. You're gonna remove this upper hose, and you got to remove this as well, because you can like pry it. Once you're done getting the alternator off, you gotta but once you're done getting the alternator off, you can't pull it through the bottom, but you can just remove this little stuff and just pull it up. You also gonna need a breaker bar for the tensioner. You're also gonna need a breaker bar for the tensioner down there, right here. That little piece is square. Look at the bolt. Let me get up in there. Look at the bolt. And look at the square that's right below it, almost at the end. Turn. Once you put the breaker bar with the, should be a 3/4. Where is it? I might have to go back in the house and get it, because I have to go back in and get my breaker bar. Once you put that in there, turn the tensioner to the right, and then the only thing you want to do is just take the belt off the alternator. You don't have to take it all the way off unless you're gonna be doing extra work like a water pump, or if you're going to be putting a new belt on there. Alrighty, I'm back. So also, my bad, you're gonna need a jack stand, and if your car is completely dead, you're gonna need a battery charger as well. So first thing you want to do is disconnect your battery, because you don't want to get shocked. So come to the back of the car, that negative terminal. Hope you guys can see that. Just undo it. Because you don't want to get electrocuted. That's it for that part. Found it. It was in my other car. So you want to reduce the clamps off your air intakes and remove them. I haven't touched this car, I'd say, in like 2-3 months. So some stuff might be a little hard to get off, man. Ah, thank you. Thank you. This needs to be cleaned again. Sheesh. I haven't been driving the car and this thing dirty. That ain't clean though, right there. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Freak. I forgot the breaker bar. Ah man, I'll be okay. Sorry. This was on my other car as well. Cause I just bought it. So you gotta get your couplers. Okay guys, what's up? Look, man, look. I apologize that I'm all over the place. Like I said, I was working on some other projects last night. Trying to do some more stuff for the charger. And I wasn't gonna record the video, but I ran into some complications that I think should be you know, added to the video or shown in the video. So I'm going to continue this video. All right, so I kind of got too far here. I apologize, man. I got frustrated. I was like, man, fuck it. I'm not even gonna do the video anymore. I'm just gonna fix the car. Okay, so I'm gonna walk you guys through it again. So I went to the back of the car with the trunk, my ratchet and my 10mm socket, anyone you choose. Take off the negative cable. I came back to the front. I began with a flathead, or if you have a power drill. Mine is dead, and I fucking lost the charger, so I have to order a new one. So with a flathead, I took off my coda intake. Then from there, I also took off my oil catch can because that's in the way. Then from there, once you get the coda intake up here, the oil catch can up there, I then proceed to take off my my upper hose. The complete assembly, just take it off because it's in the way. So when you do that, some coolant will spill out. Mine spilled out because my thermostat came out. Now this is also a good video for you guys if you want to install a upgraded thermostat. I currently have the 180T stat. For that, this bolt and this bolt, that's it. That's all you need in the gasket. So they're both 13mm. Once you take that off, you pop out the thermostat. Coolant will start spilling out. I'll do it just so you guys can see. Coolant will start spilling out. You plug that baby back in, it's done. No more coolant. Coolant will not come out. This right here, you're good to go. There's a little pin. I'm gonna show you guys the pin right there. Let me make sure I'm showing it to you guys. That pin right there, when you put your new thermostat in, you make sure that pin is facing upward, and you make sure that your new thermostat has this black O-ring. It might be black, it might be a different color, but that's it for a thermostat. So what I also had to do was, because I bought a breaker bar that's too big, so I used my 1/2 × 3/8 adapter with the 1/2 breaker bar, and I got to the tension there. You gotta turn to the right. I'm gonna do it for example, just like that, and then you pull like I said before, you just pull the belt off the pulley. That's it. So you don't have to do the whole entire diagram. And then when you put the new alternator on, you just you loosen it back up just like this, turn to the right, and then you just put the belt back on the new pulley of the new alternator. So, but one thing that's in the way is your fans. So right here, I'm gonna point to it and make sure I'm doing it right. Right here and right down there. Right here on the other side, right down there where my finger is, are the 10mm bolts. They have washers on them as well. You just unscrew those. You don't gotta do nothing else. You just pull the fans up and push them down just a little bit so you have enough room to get your breaker bar in. You might not have to do that if you buy the right breaker bar, but if you already have the 1/2 breaker bar, it's easy, man. It takes like 5 seconds. So then I went to the alternator itself. So I don't know if you guys can see that back there. I'm gonna try to get my GoPro on top of it, but that's a better view. I'm gonna try to point to it as well. Right here is the connector nut with a connection on it, and right next to it is a plug that's on the back of the alternator. Each one of these bolts, I just pulled that out. Let me show you guys. Each one of these bolts should be 19mm. I know the one on top, the one I already pulled out, is 19mm. So Yeah, so now I'm gonna get down to the bottom and I'm going to do the other two. This is exactly how the alternator sits up in your car. This the plug I'm talking about, and that's the nut. There's gonna be like a washer connected to a cable that's gonna go on, and you have a nut that spins on to keep that cable on there. And then you see this little part right here. That's where you hold the plug onto it to pull it off, and then to put it back on. And that's it. And then, like I said, you got 2 bolts at the bottom, you got 1 bolt at the top, and that's literally it, man. All right, I'm underneath the car. I might have to record with my freaking phone because I don't have that much more storage. Have a whole bunch of videos I'm bringing to you guys, so yeah. So as you can see, alrighty. So sorry, I was at a weird position, so I couldn't record myself and get the bolt off at the same time. So at the bottom of our alternator for the 2007 Dodge Charger with the 5.7 Hemi is a 13mm bolt. Me, like I said, this is my first time touching the car in months, and on top of that, this is an old engine, so me, I had to use penetrating spray for this because it didn't want to come off, and it kept making like a grinding noise. And you can see right here where it was like, actually, let me make sure this shit's positioned correctly. You can see where it was like rusted, because when I would turn the ratchet, it would like make a little screeching noise, and it was hard to come out. So there you go for that one. And I didn't say this at first. Also, take the bottom bolts off first, and then take the top nut off. I mean the top bolt off, because what you'll have is the alternator will start falling as you loosen up. If you loosen the top bolt first, then loosen the bottom bolt, the alternator will start falling onto the bolt while you're loosening it. So that's just gonna make your job harder. So the top bolt is 19mm, and now time to get this bad boy off. And just like that, man, that bad baby come off. Now let's see why my starter wasn't starting anymore, because for some odd reason the damn cable, which is right there, this is the cable I was talking about, that goes to the nut. I mean, that goes in here. So it's like a cable with a washer on it. So you put the washer up and you put the nut up there. So the nut should be like a 12, 13. Should be like a 12 or 13. That's a 10. One of these two, just so you guys know. Yeah, it's a 13. So what I'm going to have to do, because I can't continue with the install anymore. All right, it should crank open now. Here we go. I think I put the belt back on too loose. I think it needs to be tightened just a tad bit, because it sounds like I have a ticking noise, but that's just the belt, the pulleys and stuff. You know, shout out to my man, young brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Came to help me out with the So as you guys seen, I had the burnt, the end of the wire that goes to the nut and shit, to the connector of the alternator. It burnt off, so I had to splice it and put a new connector up there and put a new nut plus some electrical tape around it. So the car is running. I'm driving it right now, so the battery and alternator can charge each other up. Then I gotta go back home and see why why my pulley's not aligned right. So, you know, thanks for watching the video, man. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. More mods coming soon, baby.